Welcome in. Welcome to Anti-Chats and Tarot. Welcome in, Sagittarius. Let's get to your message. Thank you to all of you who have supported this channel. I really appreciate it. Remember, not everything's going to resonate here. Take what does. Take the energy that I see. Remember, it's just energy. Take what helps you to help yourself. Here we go. And thank you again to all of you who have supported this channel. Sag. Let's use some 2-3 decks here. Something about the sand, beach, is important to you right now. Ooh. Okay, so 3 of Cups is out here. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse. I feel like what you're dealing with is a pretty satisfying social life. You're very happy with who you're surrounding yourself with now. But what's hiding that you don't see is someone who is jealous, very manipulative, has their eye on you, has actually multiple people's eye on you. But I don't think it's in a positive way. We'll get further into this. What else do we have? The World in reverse. Yeah. This person is very good with communicating. So they may be, they're definitely telling a bunch of tales about you, but they may be more successful than you realize here. And you may not even know that they're doing this, but they're used to doing this to people. And it kind of short circuits the way things are supposed to go. Something like that. Who is this person? Yeah, guard yourself against this person, I hear. All right. Queen of Swords. That's a cutting them right out. Who is this person? They'll have that kind of energy too. They want to cut you right out, okay? There's a lot of jealousy here. It's something in the workplace, I believe, with the 8 of Pentacles. They leave a lot of people in their wake. They have a pattern of this, okay? So if you hear somebody say, oh yeah, so-and-so treated me like that, I feel like your energy is next on the chopping block, this type of energy. 6 of Cups is out here. Yeah, they've been doing this for a long time. This is just their nature. This is the way they were, even as a child. Death in the reverse, the Fool in the reverse. They want to keep people stuck. Maybe they feel like they can't move on, but they definitely keep people stuck in their energy, the energy that they want for them. The energy they want for you, in other words, not energy you want for yourself. 7 of Cups, yeah, they create a lot of illusions, a lot of lies here. They get a lot of people believing stuff. This could be family, but I feel for a majority of you, this is someone in the workplace. What's the advice here? You're very fit. There's something about that. Maybe bothers them that you're very fit. King of Pentacles. You're very successful. That's what bothers them. This person wants to be that. They want to be successful, but I feel like that is an area that they cry often about, okay? So the advice is to keep doing your thing. Focus in on your happiness. 4 of Cups in the reverse. There is something here, it's kind of tricky to explain, but there's something here about if you knew the areas where they are upset and crying, and you could get to the core of that, you know, you might be able to help them. But there also is an element here of not being able to trust them. But I feel like nobody's tried to help them in an area. And so that's why they kind of sabotage their energy as well as others. For sure, others. Page of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, a lot of, they don't achieve what they want. But I think a lot of that too is they spend too much time sabotaging others. If they would concentrate on what they want to go towards. Okay, so now I'm hearing it. If you could and felt comfortable doing so, help them with their goals, you might see a different side to this. You could actually even maybe turn it around because they feel like they've not been given any help. But you run the risk of, and it seems like a very fine line with them, where they are saboteurs, both for self and for others. So something to consider. And a tricky type of topic, I hear. 2 of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, there's a lot of fear there. So you might help set them up, and then they wouldn't jump because they'd be afraid, and then turn on you because there's not a lot of responsibility that they take in their own life. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. They would turn around and exclude you from things. They've been in this environment for a long time, but they haven't moved, okay? So that's part of the hurt for them. They haven't ever been promoted or moved, but they have enough of I've been here long enough to throw some of their weight around and certainly grab the ear of other people to keep you out of positions or teams. And they've done this with others, okay? And they could also have an influence on others as far as what your salary could be. The Chariot in the reverse. Yeah, they're all about slowing up the energy, whether they do that on purpose or not, and I think it's both. It's just that they're kind of cunning, slows up their own energy and any energy around them because of the negativity, and also the energy slows up around them, and then they also try and slow up the energy. We've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. For sure, they owe a lot of people apologies. They create challenges for others. Yeah, really kind of sad here. Let's see. Let's get some more firm advice. Knight of Wands. This is bold energy. Keep being you, okay? People are going to eventually see the treasure that you are. They're kind of making you out to be difficult, out for self. But the key is to let others see the real you. Because they will, you're not working with a bunch of dummies. You're working with people that will see for themselves that you're not that. You're not difficult. You're not selfish. Grow. Help the team to grow and grow with it, okay? And keep this person kind of to a minimal. But I feel like you do have the key here as far as how you could help them if you chose to. The Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Because karma will be paid out here on this person. Although it's taken a long time. Why is that? Because they've messed with a lot of people with their negativity. King of Wands. Okay. It's because they have dirt on other people. They have dirt on some of the bigwigs. So the bigwigs kind of let them, run the show a little bit more than it should be. Justice is out here in the King of Wands. Yeah, there's someone in particular who is very gregarious and thinks they're a leader, but they're not. And somehow they stay in power, and this person has their ear. And this person that is problematic has the dirt on this pseudo leader, who has like a knee-jerk sort of anger to them, but they act, very charming. But behind the scenes, they're different, and they've been exposed in some way or other that this person has some dirt. I feel like the advice is just know these things and just be yourself. And don't allow yourself to dip down into any low-vibing energy with them, because they would like nothing more than to show you in an unpositive light, okay? I feel like Knight of Pentacles, justice is slow to make its way to the situation. Why is that? For many people. King of Cups in the reverse. Because people are pulling back. People that know and could make changes pull back. They're pulling back their emotion and they're pulling back their action. Because they just don't want to get involved in the muckety muck. They just don't have the courage to clean it up, clean house, something like that. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. But I feel like something good comes out of this for you, and I feel like it is monetary. So hang in there. The Emperor in the reverse, the Empress in the reverse. Yeah, you've got two people here. The one that meddles, the meddler, the saboteur, and a higher up who are running the show. And people are intimidated by this duo because I think their ornery evil knows no bounds. And people are getting wise to that too. Yeah, here's my confirmation card. King of Swords. But you might be asked to step up and cut this out. And I feel like some of you are saying, who am I? Why would I ever do that? An offer, something will come towards you where you're asked to speak the truth on this. What's the advice here? You're a good communicator, and I feel like you can very diplomatically expose this group while also remaining very safe yourself. Something very diplomatic. A diplomatic way that you handle this, okay? That's true to your nature that a lot of people can't do and haven't done. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, it's true to your nature. You're going to be maybe asked to expose this, and you can. Something about what's true to you. You know, you can speak in a way that others can't. You can expose this in a way that others couldn't. Something like that. But in a diplomatic way where even as they're being removed, they aren't coming at you. Something like that. Five of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Stay grounded with this. Stay grounded in the chaos. That's your key. Stay grounded. Lean in on your divine team there. You're going to get a lot of strength from the divine here on what to do next. And ask, what are my next steps? What do you want me to do here in this particular situation? And then sit back and listen for the answers. Yeah. Stay grounded. Somehow you get pulled into this. What's the charm here for you? Oh, the dog. This is loyalty for me. Stay loyal to yourself there. What else do we have? Maybe you're the karma. Maybe you're the difference here. You're the difference maker, I see. And maybe you're just the final karma here. Is that the case here, Spirit? Seven of Wands. Yeah. Somehow you're going to be the final karma here. The last person standing. The last person anybody thought could make a difference here. And you do. Incredible strength on your part. But again, something very strength on your part. I just said as I pulled that. There's something very diplomatic that you do here, okay? These two are acting like leaders, and they are not leaders. The Chariot. In the reverse. There is no leadership here. It's becoming very obvious. The diplomatic whistleblower, something like that, is you. Seven of Cups in the reverse, the clarity. The clarity that you can help others with. The clarity that you have grown to understand here. Ten of Swords, and the ending that needs to take place. Maybe the offer is somewhere else, but you can still have an impact on the previous place and the problems and help others, but you have been removed perhaps to another company. Maybe that's the offer we see. Or entrepreneurially here, maybe you spark. Nine of Pentacles, that's doing well on your own. Five of Pentacles, after lack. Yeah, this was certainly lack. This duo going after you, and certainly the Saboteur. Lovers, balance, finding balance. Yeah, I think for many of you, the offer was that you left and more of an entrepreneurial success happens here. Gives you your balance, but you're able to help those that are still stuck in this position by being truthful and speaking to a level that's above these pseudo leaders. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And their bad karma. Yeah, I think you're the karma here. But you're out of harm's way, or you're diplomatically able to handle this. Yeah. You're the karma, but I don't feel like anything bad comes back on you. You just help others. The whys, your motivation's why. Helping others who are stuck, maybe. But this card asks you to look at your motivations. What are your whys? Why would you do this? Why would you get involved? Or why would you move on? Know your whys. Know your motivations. Let's grab one more card here. And never-ending story. This talks about negative self-talk that runs through your mind. But I feel like in this case, this is more like, boy, if some of you turn around and help the saboteur, this is what runs in their mind, is negative self-talk, things that maybe they've heard their whole life. Then they, in turn, have adopted that into their own mind. But yeah, definitely they go after others in a nasty way. So it's a tricky little... It's a tricky little scenario, only to be handled with kid gloves and cautiously. But also a reminder to don't let yourself fall into those traps where you're negatively self-talk, where you're experiencing, you're in the midst of negative self-talk a lot, okay? No place like home. I think you find home. I think it has to do with something entrepreneurial here. I see a lot of success, yeah. A fork in the road. Somebody approaches you about these non-leaders, and you have to decide what you're going to do about it. You handle it very diplomatically. It doesn't come back to touch you. You have moved on even, I see in a lot of scenarios. Yeah. But something does prompt this, knowing what's not for you and like a fork in the road and what's fated. Yeah. Where your treasures lie, where your success is, lean into your spirit team for sure. Yeah. It's like an option of two. Choices of two that come up for you. Great beginnings for you. Great beginnings. That's your message, Sag. I hope it's helpful. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment. It really helps the channel. It helps the channel to grow. It's the way this platform is set up, so I always appreciate that when you're doing that. And if you feel inclined, please do utilize the link below for Buy Me Coffee. I'd appreciate that as well. Until next time, let's remember who we are, and let's remember our self-worth. Thanks for joining me.